Hey guys, Barry at CTech-review. Today we're going to do something a little different outside the normal scope of the channel. We're going to do some reviews on some backpack leaf blowers. It's this time of the year, it's springtime, people cleaning up their yards, and I was looking to get a new backpack leaf blower. Not because I was having a problem with this. Unfortunately, I lent it out and it got broken. Frame's cracked, and I just figured it's an opportunity. I'm gonna spend the money and look at what's the latest and greatest. I'm a huge Stihl fan. I'm gonna show you some of the other leaf blowers I have. All have served different purposes. We got a lot of yard cleanup to do, so I like tools that are reliable, and Stihl's always been a great product for me. But I called one of the dealers recently to look at the new version of this the BR700, and they told me about a new version, not the BR800 by Stihl. This is the EBZ9000. These guys sold both units and everybody was ranting and raving. Let's get into this. So this unit here, I've had a handful of years. I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years, something like this. And it's actually been a really good unit. I've really not had too much of a problem here, but I'm gonna show you why we're upgrading. Lent this thing out. Notice the other day, went to put it on, and there you see this crack? This frame is cracked. And will it work? Yes, but it needs some work. We're gonna fix it. But I figured in the meantime, let's look at a new unit, and I kind of wanted something a little simpler, and here's what I mean. This is the new technology. I don't know if this is in the last 5 years or 10 years, but Stihl went to what they call the 4-mix technology. And what the 4-mix technology is, this is a 2-stroke engine with a valve train like a 4-stroke engine. So it doesn't sound like a traditional 2-stroke engine. It's got a little more low-end torque. The whole idea, my understanding of why they use this technology is it's supposed to reduce the emissions. I see pros and cons to it. One of the pros is a little bit better low-end power. One of the downsides I see to it one of the advantages to a 2-stroke engine is reliable, simple, not a lot of moving parts. Well, you're adding a valve train to it. The Redmax is a simple 2-stroke traditional engine. Right off the bat, one of the things I think is super cool is, okay, so if we want to do our in-season service, this is where you get into your air filter here. Check this out, toolless design. Pop this off right here. Access right to the air filter, right on the top of the engine. I just think that is so slick, where you can easily service this. No tools, works great, really nice little system. And you can see it's an easy one-handed operation. Now looks wise, aesthetics, this is all personal preference. A lot of people like the look of the Stihl as the motor's all covered up, and it's just got like a really professional homeowner-esque looking design. For me, I don't really care about that. I'm more about like the performance. This has got a pretty much, I think it's about a 40% bigger fuel tank. I think it's like 92 ounces, and this is like 60 ounce range. This also has a technology in the carburetor where you don't have a choke. You just have a start button to start this thing and then your primer. Whereas the BR700 or the 800, you have your choke, where your different positions of your choke, and then you have your adjustments for your carburetor, and then you have your bulb for priming. Access to the spark plug, pretty similar here, and then up here you do need a tool to get into here. Otherwise, I mean, they're fairly similar. Both run 50-to-1 fuel to gas mix. Access to getting fuel in here is pretty easy. Nice little, let's see if it's got, yep, it still does have a connector for the lid to not fall off. Very similar in this regard as well. The thing did pop off, unfortunately, but same idea. This is not giving me any problem. I don't rip on Stihl because this has been a great product. It's just broken, and it's not Stihl's fault. It just kind of is what it is. This is not an apples to apples comparison, because if I wanted a more apples to apples, I'd go the BR800, but I was looking to upgrade. When you go from the BR700 to BR800, it jumps about, I think about 250 CFM, and it jumps to like 945 CFM. This is like, I want to say 1250 or 1300 CFM. It's almost 50% more power than the BR800, which is its equivalent, but it's like almost double the power of this thing. And so weight-wise though, they're pretty darn close. I'll go into the specs here later part of the video, but let me just pull these down and you can kind of just see how these things look just size-wise, just kind of right next to each other. When you look at the height, it sits up a little bit higher. But when you actually feel the weight of these, as far as air goes, pretty similar weight. You can tell it's not much difference. If anything, this almost feels a little more balanced. Now here's the big difference though. Check out the size difference of the nozzles. I mean, that's a massive difference. We're talking a huge difference. One thing, they both have the adjustable handle so you can move the position of the throttle both forward and back. They both have cruise control. They both have kill stop. This has the adjustable nozzle where you can pull it in and out. This, you just remove it. This is a big selling point to me. I'm a sucker for that right there. Husqvarna. Redmax is owned by Husqvarna, so I think that's super cool. Now here's another big difference. If you notice, this doesn't have the bottom strap design, whereas the Redmax does. And then this actually even has the chest strap where it can go across here as well. You can actually run this without the bottom. I've done it. It works just fine. But this does take a lot of the weight off your shoulders, which is kind of nice. Whereas this is just your traditional shoulder strap, and it's not uncomfortable. I don't have any issue with that. It's a totally adequate setup, but this is a little nicer. Now, if we look at the fan design, look at how much more air kind of sucks through on both sides. I mean, it's really pulling and drawing a lot more air than just through the sides of the Stihl unit. But nothing against this. I just wanted to try something else. Now I'm gonna show you two other blowers I've got, and they all serve different purposes. So now you can see I kind of got a range of leaf blowers, and they all kind of serve different purposes. This was my first one, my Stihl, and this was back in the day, I think this was called the SH86C. The advantage to this version is back in the day, this had the shredder vac where you can put the attachment and suck stuff up, which is the reason I keep this thing around, because then I can pull stuff out of bushes and clean up. Plus this attaches to a gutter clean out, which is really nice. Back in the day, they didn't have an electric option. It was really competitive to it. Now we've just bought this, and we use this more for camping. It's really quiet, small. These are for smaller jobs. Battery life on this thing's not great, as expected for electric, but it's okay. This is the Ego 56V 615 CFM, which is still pretty impressive numbers with the turbo mode, but we pretty much specifically only use this for camping. This is my old tried and true. This thing's had a hard life. A lot of fuels went through this thing, hardly any maintenance, and it still runs. And it's because of the durability of that is why I bought this thing. And so I would have went with the 800, but even the Stihl dealer told me there's not that much of a bump in performance versus your 700. You might as well just jump up to the Redmax. This is my first Redmax product. I've got a bunch of Stihl chainsaws, weed whips, and obviously you can see leaf blowers. So I'll be real curious to see how this thing's gonna be. We're gonna put it through its paces. We got it from Weingart's in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Good guys, they seem to be pretty legit. But otherwise, I'll keep you guys posted on how this thing does, and I'll kind of just show you how this thing does in just different types of environment. I'm wanting to pull needles out of those rocks over there, and then I'm gonna move a lot of material as well. So I wanted something with a little more power than this, but the big thing is at an idle, I want it where it's not so powerful that I can't even do little work. So we're gonna see what that looks like right now. Show you guys how easy this is to start it. Hit the start button, hit the fuel bulb a few times. Let's see if it starts. There we go, one pull. Kind of old school, but I really like the sound of the traditional two-stroke engine versus the 4-mix. Kind of see just moving small stuff. It'll idle and just move just little, no problem. That's no gas. Now if we want to get after it, I mean, it's got a lot of power. Very responsive. Hey, so this is a little bit different scope of a product review of what we're normally doing on the channel, but I figure a lot of you guys are outdoors people looking for products. I'll keep you guys posted on what I think about this new Redmax EBZ9000, but so far, fit and finish, starting, performance, weight, sound, everything feels super legit on this thing. And the price point right now is not too bad. They're offering like 15% off. Everybody can get this thing at a discount. So that's not too bad either. 2-year warranty. I think the Stihl is a 2-year warranty. And if you buy the oil, you get an extended extra 2 years of warranty. But of all the 8 Stihl products I've ever had, I've never needed any warranty, and I don't expect any warranty on this. But I'll keep you guys posted if I have any problems. But I hope you guys enjoy this. Thanks for watching.